1 FM. He is Jim Struzzi, Indiana County Chamber of Commerce President, joins us to talk about, well, things around the chamber, things that are happening around the community and in the business community as well. And in particular, Jim, good morning, by the way.
Good morning, Todd. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you here. In particular, you're getting ready for the big annual event, aren't you?
Well, we are, yeah. The deadline to register for the Chamber Annual Luncheon is this Wednesday, November 22nd. The luncheon itself is next Friday, December 1st. The pre-reception begins at 11 a.m. with lunch served at noon. Of course, we're still very excited to have the Penguins Chief Operating Officer, Travis Williams, as our keynote speaker. But we are telling everyone, if you want to attend the luncheon, you got to get your reservations in this week.
Yeah, absolutely, because those things take preparation. And it should be a fascinating presentation by Travis Williams.
Oh, it certainly will. He's going to start off with a highlight video from the Stanley Cup last year, and then we really want him to talk about what it takes to run a business like the Penguins, to be successful year after year, to have such community presence, to have great fan support. You know, those are all tactical decisions that are made, from the leadership of the organization, and that's the kind of stuff that we want to learn about. Plus, some cool things about the Penguins would be nice, too. So you can visit our website, indianacountychamber.com, or call 724-465-2511 to make reservations.
Interesting about the Penguins is that's a business that has been on the verge of death several times and has come back from the brink to be one of the strongest franchises in the National Hockey League, and how they were able to work with everybody around them, government, communities, to rebound to the point that they have and to become such a viable entity. It really goes down to facilities, talented personnel.
Obviously, yes.
And not just the guys skating around on the ice with sticks and pucks,
right?
But the people that you have running the operation. He could talk about all of that.
Absolutely, and he's been with the Penguins since 2008, so he'll have that whole duration of the time period that you're talking about, where they went through those ups and downs, and then obviously now with 2 Stanley Cups in a row, the very pinnacles of success.
Yeah, he might say it was him.
I'm sure he had a role in it.
What, 2008, they were in the Stanley Cup Finals. 2009, they won the Stanley. It was him.
Yeah, and the other cool thing about him, Todd, is that, in his position, he's second in command to the president, who is just under the 2 owners. And so he'll be able to give us a perspective on building the new arena, the practice facility in Cranberry, because that falls under his responsibility. So it should be a very, very interesting presentation.
When you think about what he'll be able to bring to the table, literally to the luncheon table.
Yes.
During that, and then you try to apply it to some of the business situations.
Yes.
Here in Indiana County, what are some of the things that you think that he can address that in Indiana County especially will have a very important application?
Well, I think anytime you're talking about business principles, they can be applied universally. Whether it's a small business or a large business, you want to hear things like, what kind of culture do they foster, and how do they foster that culture within their organization? Those kind of things, creating a team spirit, a team attitude, and not just on the ice but off the ice. They apply universally to any type of business. So I think the insights he provide will go well beyond the sports realm.
His presentation is just part of that day. You have other things planned for
Absolutely.
For that event.
The other big side of the Chamber Luncheon is the announcement of the 2018 Business Hall of Fame class. We selected the nominees, the inductees, here in October. Another exciting group of people who will be entered into the Hall of Fame, which is located at the KCAC. This will be our 4th annual Business Hall of Fame induction dinner. So, again, that's very exciting. And then, of course, the luncheon itself, we're going to have a great meal, as always. It's a great opportunity to network. Other chamber members will be there. We'll do our regular board meeting. We'll give out the annual report to talk about how the chamber and the business community have done in the past year and what we're looking ahead to in the future in 2018, which, there's a lot of exciting things happening. So it's a great opportunity to mix with the business community in Indiana County.
Certainly, we'll have a more definition on what 2018 will look like after that meeting.
Yes.
But some of the preliminary things you're looking at for 2018, what are some of the things that we can sort of put on our horizon to look for?
Well, I can tell you that, I've been talking to you for a long time, and a lot of people have been saying that there are some incredible things happening behind the scenes. a lot of those things are truly going to culminate in 2018. Windy Ridge, the construction work, the first phases of the infrastructure have been completed. They're looking now to complete that roadway from 286 over to Rustic Lodge Road. There's just an incredible amount of potential and possibility there, and there's a lot of interest right now. The Chamber Board of Directors met last week. We had some real good discussions, not things that we can give too much detail on, but I can tell you that there is truly an excitement in the air. We're looking at possibly the energy industry returning. There's a couple of test wells that are being drilled right now. They could change the whole makeup of that industry as well here in Indiana County. We'd like to see retail come back. Obviously, the recent announcements at the Indiana Mall are disconcerting, and of course, Wyotech. But where one door closes, another can open, and we see possibilities there. Those are great buildings down in Blairsville along Route 22. Great spaces in the mall that maybe some retailers that we don't have here might want to come in. We're seeing smaller stores still opening. The two strip malls, the one over by Eaton Park and the one here on the far side of town. Those will be opening next year. And then, of course, Dan Smith Candies just opened prior to the Light Up Night. So there's a lot of things that are exciting in the works right now.
You go back to that Wyotech situation. Those buildings should have some pretty attractive qualities for a business, a manufacturing business, a transportation type business.
Yes.
They've got some really good facilities there.
Well, they do, and logistically, it's a good location right on Route 22. We'd like to see Wyotech stay in some form or fashion. Mark Reynolds, who's the director of Wyotech, was at our chamber board meeting last week, and I know that we discussed it in depth behind the scenes with the chamber executive officers and community leaders. So we're going to do everything we can to try and perhaps find a buyer for them so that the school can continue in some capacity, because it also has workforce implications. They're creating those types of employees that we need right now. There's a gap in people who can work with their hands, who do those types of skills that not necessarily you get from a four-year school, but you can get from a school like Wyotech. And they're predicting, the shortage of 80,000 workers here in the next 10 years in Western PA, and a lot of those are trades. So if we lose Wyotech, it not only costs us jobs, it costs the Blairsville community and the students who live there and spend their money there, but also in our workforce.
When you are marketing something such as that Wyotech complex,
yes,
and thinking about that takes you back as many as 20 years ago to when they made the decision to make 22 a 4-lane highway.
Yes,
all the way from Pittsburgh to Altoona and beyond.
Well, infrastructure is key for sure.
Yeah, that just has to be a really, really big advantage.
It is, and if in fact you do have to find some other business to replace Wyotech, that strategically would be a good spot for a business. You're connected to Pittsburgh, you're connected to Altoona, right on Route 22, right on Route 119. So ideally, that's the perfect spot for a business location, particularly a manufacturer or something along those lines.
What are some of the other things that we can look forward to in the coming months from the Chamber?
Well, the Business Expo is going to be coming up here in January, January 27th to be precise. We're going to be again at the Indiana Mall. Another great opportunity to see what type of chamber members that we have out there. We expect a great turnout again from not only our members, but from people in the community who want to come out and take part in the expo. There's job opportunities there. We'll again have live music all day long. So right now we're taking reservations from chamber members. You can call the chamber again at 724-465-2511 or visit indianacountychamber.com.
Mm-hmm. Jim Struzzi is with us, president of the Indiana County Chamber of Commerce. We're headed toward December, and the holiday season is upon us. I know there are fun things happening with the Chamber as well, aren't there?
Well, our annual Christmas party with St. Andrew's Village for Chamber members is coming up on December 7th. And always a great affair. St. Andrew's Village really rolls out all the stops, and it makes it a nice event to enhance the holiday season. Of course, Small Business Saturday is coming up this weekend, and we want to remind everyone to shop local when you can. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of great stores in Indiana County that have a great selection of unique gifts that you can buy for friends and loved ones, and by supporting the local vendors, that money stays here in Indiana County. It doesn't go elsewhere. And not only if they don't have it in stock, I know a lot of them can find it and bring it in for you. So you don't have to go on the internet, and then you get better customer service, because if it doesn't fit or something's wrong with it, you can take it back to your local store. But before you try the internet or you travel out of town, visit some of our local stores and remember to buy local.
Yeah, and you probably have some after-hours things and jingles and things of that sort planned for the month of December.
Well, we try to scale back after the St. Andrew's Village event because people are having holiday parties, and a lot of those types of things happen. I know the Young Professionals will be holding their holiday mixer. I don't think the date's been determined yet. The Young Professionals organization is doing very well right now. Last week we had a lunch and learn with Commissioner Shireen Hess success. She did a great job talking to the young people about, staying the course, being determined, staying focused on your goals, and good things will happen if you work hard and reach those goals. And then they did an event with the Indiana Historical Society back prior to Halloween, and they raised some money for the Historical Society, partnering with the Paranormal Society at IUP to look at haunted schools, specifically Keith and Leonard Halls. So there's a lot of exciting things happening. We're looking at ways that young professionals can be more involved on a volunteer basis. So always something happening with the Chamber of Commerce.
One of those good groups. You mentioned Windy Ridge.
Yes.
They got some state money, didn't they? Or they're in line for the next round
I
of state
believe,
money.
they to complete the infrastructure work.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And, you think about development such as that, what's happening down along Route 119 in Center Township, and all around Indiana County, there are hot spots where there are opportunities.
There are. And in economic development, it truly is, if you build it, they'll come. But if you don't have it, they won't come. Yeah. And in Indiana County, we have it. Yeah.
Looking at 119 North and all of the highway construction there, that has to help.
It certainly does. It certainly does. You'll hear that from everyone in every sector of business that highway infrastructure is important. Not only highway infrastructure, but also internet infrastructure, transportation, technology. And I know that the county commissioners and others are working hard to try and make sure that we have all those interconnections in place too, because you really can't have a business in a rural area if you can't access high-speed internet to process transactions.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yes, it certainly is. But I think a lot of people are working hard. They realize the problem, and they're trying to do something about it.
Yeah, in Indiana County, especially northern Indiana County, there really is not an option out there. So they're working on that.
Yes.
And boy, I'd like to see that happen just from a personal standpoint, because I live there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's good for everyone. Brings more people to the community.
Well, he is Jim Struzzi. Once more, Wednesday's the deadline for the luncheon, correct?
This Wednesday, November 22nd, call 724-465-2511 or visit IndianaCountyChamber.com. The luncheon is December 1st, and we are taking reservations through Wednesday.
Very good, sir. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Todd. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
He's Jim Struzzi, Indiana County Chamber of Commerce.